Hello, our Loved One Society family. This is Ron. I'm with Tracy here. We're going to begin a question and answer period about the RSS program. So, with that introduction, let's go ahead, Tracy.
Okay, so the question here is, aside from the 10 cents a minute, can there be any other numbers as well?
There's a lot of misunderstanding or lack of understanding when you ask that question. 10 cents a minute is the basic beneficiary program. You as a manager, a managing director, and initiate a an account anytime you want, and then you just initiate it. There it is for those people as long as they've signed up. It's a complicated problem because we're in the process of figuring out how to adjust for the economic development of a country in relationship to another country. So Africa, if we gave them $1,000 a week, it would mess things up. $100 a week is more appropriate. So, and some of the countries might be 50 cents with some adjustments to the other fees and so forth that are part of it. So we're going to come up with that. But to answer your question, the 10 cents a minute is what it's supposed to be for America. It might be 50 cents America or 50 cents a minute download for countries in Africa. And some of them are, some countries, it might be 11 or 12 cents. We'll see. But we're looking with that.
You don't mean 50 cents a minute in Africa. Maybe it will be 2 cents a minute in Africa, not 10 cents. So it just depends on the financial demographics of each country, and it will be sorted individually, as well as the $10 fee to join the RSS. That will also be taken into consideration.
Yeah, all of the fees will have that. Will adjust, not just the 10 cents a minute. The down payment, thank you bonus, and things like that. It'll change according to the country, but it will be consistent for the country. So if you live there, then that's what you're going to get.
The RSS tool, will it also set up the payment numbers according to the employee's contract?
The RSS tool, you can set it up the way you want to. Set the numbers according to the employment contract as well. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you set that up for yourself, by yourself. And you can do that, or your managing or your directors for your CACs. Those are the ones who will really do a lot of this work, setting up managing or for setting up employer contracts. I don't like employee, but employer contracts, and because they're local and can help out with things.
Well, there's going to be employer contracts as well as employee contracts, because you said you wanted to get rid of the term employment.
Yeah. Well, there are employees who will be the managers, the owners of the businesses, and they have a contract, and everybody under them will, in their organization, will have a contract for whatever it's going to be, what they are paying their people. So it'll work out.
Okay. The next question with the same series is there a list of documents that can be used as a template to be used as a payment instrument, which, based on this vocabulary, it leads me to believe they're a non-English speaker. So what do you say about that?
Well, documents to explain things, no, we don't do that. We have I don't know how many different countries we're associated with, but all of that has to be in the language associated with that country, and we just don't have the facilities to do all that. maybe someday we will, but we don't now. So.
Okay. Will there be a training session scheduled for all managing directors to cover all details of implementation?
Our intention is to have a director's training program that this is going to have to be huge because of the numbers of CACs, and we're going to do the best we can to get directors trained, thousands at a time, perhaps even. That's in the mill, and I can't tell you all the details about it yet because we haven't got to the point where we've got even the people to do the training. So we'll see how that works.
Well, actually, remember Val Taylor put that all together?
Yeah, it's all together, but there's a lot of decisions to be made and things associated with it that haven't been made yet. So it's in the mill, and the program is already set up, the curriculum and so forth. We just have to fine tune it to where it's implementable, and that'll take place. It's one of the things that have to happen. So go from there.
Will we be able to sign people into the RSS if we are traveling overseas?
The answer is yes. If it's the internet is there and they can sign in and pay the $10 or whatever, work out the fees. Yeah, you can do that. See, the CAC has no country boundaries, national boundaries. It's just people, and so you can sign somebody up, and the internet or the RSS platform doesn't. You can sign people up on that as long as you can get into it. So yes, answer is yes.
Okay. Will the software in the RSS automatically work out the adjustment to the 10-cent download for each country's currency exchange rate, or will it all be equal after the GCR?
There will be adjustments that will be made for the different countries. So yes, those are things that we're looking at, and we're saying, well, we've got to address this and make some decisions on it, but it hasn't happened yet. There's no deadlines to meet or anything like this, so it's kind of hard for us to know what to do.
Okay. When will the RSS program start?
When it starts, I can't tell you. There's no dates. There's no timing like that at all. The Alliance doesn't do that sort of thing. So when we're with the Alliance, we don't get dates. Everybody else that gets dates is not with the Alliance. So how can you're believing military deceptions? That's my opinion about other people's activities.
Well, we can also say that it will happen a few weeks after the reevaluation.
The revaluation or the redemption, yes. The platform itself is being built right now by the Alliance in the new quantum internet. It's there, but it hasn't been opened up to us to see it. And when that does, and we get a chance to fine tune it, we want this picture here, we want that over there, we want it, all that sort of stuff has to be done. But the actual implementation, the actual platform itself is being. They listen to our conversations, and then they go ahead and make adjustments. And so, we're working with somebody that's brilliant and but we don't know all that. So, but they're doing it, and we'll hand it over to us to use when the time comes. I hope that helps.
Okay, since the RSS is only for people 18 years and older, how would a managing director handle an orphaned child to receive living expenses through the RSS?
Where do you find the orphaned child? Is it in an organization? Is there somebody that can oversee and manage that? See, you can do it. You can establish it yourself. Just open up an account and pay it, have it pay whatever you want it to do. Somebody has to be in a position to take the money out of the bank and give to the child, all that sort of stuff. It can happen, yes. But there's circumstances that you'll need to address to be sure that it's not done frivolously and that the child is supervised. And those are the kinds of problems that we have with under 18 kids. So there's got to be somebody to supervise for them, or we're not going to do it. I wouldn't do it. But look to your CACs. They're the ones that, establish your CAC. A director there can be the one to, or an assistant director who's in charge of whatever to do it. And I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
You don't want to, if it's an orphan child, you don't, that's a different story than a child who's in some kind of a club, boys and girls clubs or something like that. In a boys and girls club, they have parents, and you're not going to take away the responsibility for the parent to fund the child without permission and be sure that it's all okay to the parent for that to take place. And see, now you've got the parent involved. Why wouldn't the parent want to be part of the RSS program as well as a beneficiary? So there's a lot of ways to do this, a lot of different ways. It's good to think about these things and how you want to set it up. So it's good to do that.
All right. The next question is about double dipping in the RSS. So they give 2 lengthy examples of how they feel like this could happen. So I just want to say that the quantum consciousness will not allow that to happen. What do you think about double dipping?
You've got, you're not really, the person who asked this question is not really aware of who the alliance is and the role that they will be playing. If there's any illegalities anywhere in that program, anybody does things that are wrong, their funds will be terminated or frozen. And then it'll be investigated. And it's the alliance that does that. Now, keep in mind, the beneficiaries do not have a counselor, so they can't go through that. But if you establish one account with an RSS as a beneficiary and then try another one, they know that. And you may lose your first one and not have anything. So if you start doing illegal things, just know that the alliance, God knows you're doing it. Well, we have the alliance right now who is acting like that and won't allow that to take place. So don't try it. Don't try don't try and game the system, because you're going to be the one that's lost. You will be kicked out. That's what the alliance is there for, because we can't see everything, nor can we judge anything. I'm not going to judge other people. So let's let those who have the ability to do that do it for us. And that's the way that they're setting it up.
So I have 2 questions semi-close that they're wondering when it will be implemented in the Philippines and then in Vietnam. And we asked and answered that everything's going to be available at the same time, sometime after the redemption appointments.
Yeah. The redemption appointments are not going to be country specific in terms of when they happen. If you're in the Philippines, you're going to have an opportunity to go redeem just like somebody in Africa. It's all going to happen. From my understanding, it's all going to happen at the same time.
And the next one is about the wealth management series. And I guess one of our old videos said there's going to be 8 in the series. There's only 7 posted. They're wondering if is the A1 missing, or what's the scoop? So I know this isn't RSS related, but I read it anyway.
Well, it's okay. There's actually going to be 3 more. when the Alliance is ready to download it to me, then we'll have it. Otherwise, we won't until that takes place. I'll have to focus on it, but right now that's not a priority until I make it a priority, and then we'll get it done. And they'll work with us any way we can. I'm doing other things instead of that right now, so bear with us. We'll get it all done.
Next question. The new RSS program eliminated the holding accounts, but they are being suggested in the following paragraph in the current CAC program. Perhaps it is an editing error. Can you please clarify?
There were some reasons that we discontinued the idea of, because it was a trust, not a holding account that we had before. A trust was very cumbersome in terms of people understanding how to do all that. And so we came up with the simple holding accounts, and now we're getting the disposition of the Alliance on how to accomplish that. I'm going to say it this way. There will be 6 holding accounts that are available for beneficiaries. And yet there will be some circumstances about setting one up that have to be followed. And I'll just say it this way. If a beneficiary has children and wants to have a holding account for her children, then they can set that up as one of their 6 holding accounts. The requirement, though, is that you do what you say you're going to do. So if you set it up for your child and then always say, no, I don't have enough money for that, then you're taking money from that child, and that's not appropriate. If you sign up to do something, write it on down, and this is your little contract with yourself and with the Alliance so that they can see what your intentions are, and then move forward with it. But if you're fraudulent, you're going to have some problems. So don't set something up unless you're going to do it that way. Don't set something up. I'm going to set up a holding account for travel. Well, if you set it up and then you don't use it for travel and use it for something else, that's not appropriate. So you have to be responsible. And that's the parameters around the setting up the holding accounts. We'll be more involved in that and have better understandings. Maybe a video all by itself. We'll see.
Well, we were going to do that.
Requires that.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday.
I think it's required.
I'm not sure if I have enough foreign currency to exchange, as this is overwhelming. What percentage of funds are we permitted to use to help our family and friends?
It's a good question. And let me put it this way, and please understand, the Alliance is not funding a project. They're funding you because you are the humanitarian. And humanitarians will get funded, and it won't change their life except for their ability to service or to give service to other people. That's what it's for. However, it is your money. If you want a house on the hill, buy the house on the hill. If you want a Bentley, buy a Bentley. It's your decisions and your money. Now, if you buy a Bentley to show prestige and all that sort of stuff, what is the intent in purchasing those kinds of things? If it's to set up some kind of a legacy or make you feel better, if that feeling better is a good thing to invest in something. But if you're doing it for a show to other people, as in power over other people and prestige over other people, that's a problem. And the Alliance knows that. And so you might not get any money if that's what you're trying to do. However, keep in mind, they are financing or funding you as an individual. If you need a new car, go buy a new car. If you need to do other things, you do it. you're getting involved in the CAC program, so you're going to be sending money to the out into the communities. Your directors will be out into the communities and setting up the beneficiary accounts and so forth. So there needs to be a flow for us to be of it's well, that's the way it's going to be. Our job is to get the money out to the people in an organized way. So
Okay.
you can have the money you need.
And you can also apply for SKRs. The website for that is qfs2020.com/SKRs. RS. Sorry, but it's also on the menu, so you can find it.
Yes, it's there.
Next question. How many people can I help with the RSS?
As many as you want. Now, here's the question. How are you going to do it? Now, if you're a beneficiary, that's one thing. If you're not a beneficiary and you're the managing director, all you got to do is get one person to be a beneficiary. If you're going to give that person $1,000 a week or an equivalent for whatever country, and they know that they'll get $50 if they share it with somebody else, you think they're not going to do that on their own? And you won't have any idea what's going on because they don't need you to sign up. They just need an ID number, and that's from the person who refers them. So as they come into the program, and they can refer 2,700 people if that's what they want to do, and give them their ID number, and they can sign up. So you will not have, and this is a problem with most people, you will have no control. Once you set up the RSS program with beneficiary accounts, you will have absolutely no control over anything to do with them. They get their money and you have no control over how they use it. That's why we are, I'm not going to say helpless, we have the Alliance backing us up. If bad people get the money, they won't get a chance to use it. That's our security, and that's why we have no concern about that, because it's not our job to do that. So people are saying, "Well, I'm going to work real hard and get hundreds of people signed up as a benefit." If you, it's like lighting a fire on this big, huge, whatever. It's going to go like wildfire if the winds are up and all that sort of stuff. This is going to be bigger than you have any idea. We got 7.5 or whatever billions of people in the country, in the world. Every one of those should have a beneficiary account. Every one of them. And we have the money to do it. And we'll have the money to do it. So don't concern yourself with the beneficiary account. Just let them go as they will. They'll refer and here and there. And grandma in Pennsylvania might sign up her sister over in Italy. Those are the things that will happen, and you won't know about it. So you just have to fund it. Hope that helps.
Okay, next question. Are Zim benefactor and managing director two distinct roles? It sounded like it was one person at first, and the name just changed to mitigate exposure.
That's correct. We did.
So the answer is yes. It was just changed to mitigate exposure. So
yes.
We're dropping that term completely. But sometimes you'll hear it because it's a slip of the tongue.
Yeah, it's in our old literature, and who's going to take the time to go back through everything and change it?
Yeah, so it's humanitarian.
It's not easy.
So the same word for humanitarian, Zim benefactor, managing director, they're all synonymous.
Yes.
I would like to offer financial support to YouTube videographers. So many of them have been known to admit it is their dream to create videos full-time regarding their respective passions, except they also have to work a full-time job. So they have to fit the filming in around a work schedule. Sounds like my son. The RSS program would benefit these artists greatly. My question is, would they be in alignment with the RSS program if they published their ID number online within the description box of each video posted for others like their viewers to sign up with the RSS program?
That's public exposure, and that is against the rules. You do not publish things and just leave it out there for people because you don't know who you referred. That's inappropriate, period. Don't do it. Caught doing it, you'll be in trouble.
So what if they do something like this? What if they say, if you want information on a program that can help you financially, please email me at XYZ and we'll set up a phone call?
That'd be fine.
Okay.
That'd be fine. But do not ever publish your ID number. That's just greed, and there's no reason to do that. Now, then, if you go back to being a person who wants to do YouTube videos, can that be their work? Can you give them a contract to do that sort of thing? Sure. That's what it's for. You're finding people with a passion and you're financing them to have the job. Work it out. There's no reason not to help them because you've got all the money in the world. They find where their passion is and help them to find work in that area. That's what directors are supposed to do. And managing directors should be delegating that to other people. They're directors in the CAC program. Be wise in what you're trying to accomplish.
How will homeless and other beneficiaries get paid? They have no power, lights, internet, bank accounts, computer, even with a phone, some can still not go online.
You're assuming that once they have a chance to not be homeless, that they won't accept that and start doing things differently. There's problems there. Solve the problems. Don't accept them as problems and kick out and not allow the homeless to, because the homeless are oftentimes just there because they don't have enough money. They're not stupid. The quantum financial system is easy to set up an account. And you can get the account so that you can start downloading your money and be able to use it. Now, if you have an account, we'll set that. We'll see how that goes because we don't know if we're going to have debit cards from the Alliance or not. I don't know that yet. I just know that they've got it all worked out. That'll be just perfect for us to do that. So there are those kinds of what if questions. You're what ifing from what you know now, but you're not what ifing if you know down the road a ways. And those problems can be solved, and people will solve them and share their solutions to the problems. That's just the way it's going to work out. So don't overly concern yourself about what ifs. You have no control over that. So, and we're not there yet. What if? Well, what if the world blew up? Oh, we don't get a chance to do anything. You can what if yourself to death. Please don't go there because you're going to solve the problems. Identifying problems and then solving them is your solution. Don't identify problems and then ask us about them. Those are problems that you have created in your mind, and with the problem comes the solution. If you've thought it out to the point where you have a problem, then it also is there that you'll have a solution. It comes with problems and solutions come together.
Well, she actually, or he actually had a solution. I just was piecing things out. So
okay.
She said, are we directors going to be prepared to register them? And so, yes, I mean, if I found a homeless person, I would have my phone with me and register them on my phone. Also, if they don't have a bank account now, we'll just get them one because everybody can have a bank account on the QFS.
Yes. And see, downloading to setting up an account in the quantum financial system, you might want to download into, well, once the financial service centers have begun, then you can just go in there and they can download money to you. It's like just going to the bank, and if you got money in the bank, you take it out. That's what the financial service centers are going to be like. Well, it's a transition. It might not be the same way it's going to be in 10 years, but it's going to transition to where it's functional and working for everybody. So it's a transition. Let it transition, and then everything will be working just fine. And it's us finding the solutions that is part of the transition. And so we can do those kinds of things and not have problems.
Okay. Well, we have recommendations on how much money we should transfer from the Motherload account into the RSS platform to start.
You're saying a master account, funding the master account. Let's use the right words if we can. A master account is your account that's associated with the platform. Yes. How much? I don't know. You just have to monitor it.
So I have an idea. So either they can check every day at the end of the day and make a transfer just to see what activity took place. Since it's just a ledger, they just make that transfer once a day, or they can put in a lump sum and, then maybe they'll get a notification when things are starting to run low, and then they can add another large lump sum. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it can be automatic. It just has to be set up that way. There are those who can make a program to monitor your account. And then if there's another account that you have to feed the master account, then it can draw money from that account. It's available for us to do whatever we really want to do. And so we can do that and not worry about, oh, gee, if okay, let's go into how to set up the master account and what is the bond account that's associated with that. The bond account is the account, in my way of looking at what I've established as the bond account. It's the place where I keep my huge amounts of money, and that will be associated with the master account for beneficiaries and other things that I'm doing in the RSS program. And so that bond account ensures that I have place to go get money for an automatic feeding system. And I can set that up the way that I want. And you, as an individual managing director, have all of the ability to set that up as well, so that you can not have to worry about it. There's a lot of people who can set it up. Just find one.
Okay. In the event a church signs up for the RSS program and at a later date is dissolved, what becomes of the RSS membership for the church? Would the funds be stopped, or would the primary individual of the dissolved church affairs be allowed to continue accessing the permanent download?
If a church is having income from our RSS program, if they set it up, it's their money, and we're not going to be involved in that. They just have their own solutions to the problems. And but once the account is set up, it will just continue. So we don't know if it's a bad, if they've gone south on their organization or not. It's none of our business. It's their business. And then if you start doing something illegal, then the alliance will step in and freeze accounts or freeze the money flow and all that sort of stuff. So just be wise in how you handle it.
Okay, next question. Can I pay my RSS beneficiaries to work for me at my CAC and allow them to be paid for it?
Well, absolutely. Why would you have any problems with that? That's where you're going to get your good people. a beneficiary does not negate the fact that they can have an employer or employment contract, employee contract. They're prime people. They help you, I think, because they've already getting funds. They know what's going on.
Will we register out of country beneficiaries into our local US CAC RSS programs?
There's nothing local about it except for the CAC program is set up in a location, but it has no restrictions for who they sign up as a beneficiary. If that was the question, there's no it can refer beneficiaries all over the world as long as they have the internet and they can deal with the funds, then that's fine.
Can foreign college students be registered in a local CAC RSS program?
Yes. Now, foreign, they will have to be, they will indicate where they live, where they reside, and the download will be associated with that. And so that you're setting up a beneficiary account in a country, and that country will determine the download for that individual who's set up the beneficiary account in that country.
So let's talk about this. So in California, we have a lot of Chinese students. So if they sign up for the RSS program while they're in college here and they're taking the download per the USA rate, and then they go back home, will that download change to reflect where they're living back in China?
It's a good question that we need to think through before giving a solid answer on that. If a Chinese person came over here and is living here, does that qualify them as a native to this country? And are they going to go back to China and have a different amount for? And those are things that we just don't know yet. I want to make it so that it's not a problem. I want to make it so that those Chinese students or any other kind of students from different countries can come here. And if they're living here and set up their beneficiary account, it feels like that's the best way to just leave it. We're not going to know if they're still here in America. We're not going to even concern ourselves with where they go when they're finished with their degree. They may stay here. They don't know that. All of those kinds of things are up in the air, but we have no control over it. We don't know where they're going, what they're going to do after they get their degree, or maybe they'll fail out of school. Who knows? With $1,000 a week, they might just see if they can apply for citizenship or something like that. Those are things that you just have to deal with it when it comes along. So I don't know how to answer that question in any other way than that, but I would hope that we allow them to have the funds and just hope that they don't come here with the idea that they're going to get the larger funds and go home.
And perhaps when the playing field is leveled, as they say that's going to happen, then it won't be a thing, like it's everybody's leveling the playing field. So it will be, so maybe that would be the case since we're just bridging the gap. Okay. So the next question is, will teachers or for-profit organization staff be eligible for RSS benefits? Yes, everyone is eligible. It doesn't matter what their job is, anybody can sign up. So
that's as a beneficiary.
Yes.
And then if they want to have a contract, then they need to seek out and find a director or a managing director.
Or a CAC, yeah. To do
whoever is authorized to do it. Who is ever authorized.
So then the next question is about grants. Must the recipient of a grant be registered in the RSS first?
Okay. What do you perceive in your mind as a grant? for an individual? Are you giving them money for a specific purpose? Is it a contract that you're providing for them because that's what they want to do for their passions? That's where their passion is. They want to be involved in that. Those are the kinds of things. So, are you giving them a contract, an employer contract? I had a person say, "Well, I want to give $20 million to my friends." I don't remember what I said to him, but that's not what this is for. You're not just simply making 20 million, giving $20 million to your friends and then saying, I'm doing humanitarian work. That's just being, you're seeking to take care of your friends rather than being in service to mankind. Those are the kinds of differentiations. And so without saying it in my mind, I thought, I wonder if that person is going to get funded as a humanitarian, if that's the basis upon which his money is going to be distributed. It's just not appropriate. So if you don't kind of work with the system, you may not qualify for the funds to come anyway. So what if? There's a good what if. What if I don't qualify? Well, you won't get the money. Is your heart in the right place? Well, I want to help everybody. Yeah. Well, are you helping everybody now before you get the money? It's like what we've said before. If you're interested in saving puppies and you want $1 million to set up a facility to do that, and you're waiting for the $1 million to do that, and you're not saving puppies, then saving puppies is not your passion. You're just trying to take money and do something with it that you think is supposed to be done. And just be very, very careful. Humanitarians will make the right decisions because that's what humanitarians do. They're not greedy. They're going to get a lot of money beyond what their minds can conceive. And they're going to function in a position where they can serve mankind. And if they're that way inclined to do that, then those are the ones that are going to get the funds. But if you're just, well, I'm going to get all these funds, now I got to figure out what to do with them. Well, find out where your passion is and don't disqualify yourself there by not getting involved in your passion. Because, well, my passion is building wheelchair ramps for neighborhood. Well, that's a great thing to do, but don't plan on doing that for the world. There's a disconnect there as far as the ideas are concerned. So you're going to have to spread your thoughts and ideas. And let's not talk about the worldwide doing. I got to do it in every country of the world. You're not the only ones in the world to do that. So there's people all over the world that are going to be doing this. So don't think that you're going to take over Germany or France or Italy or any other country because you're the only one with money. No, they've got plenty of people with money in those countries. There's plenty of RSS people. There's Loved One Society people all over the world. So start out where you can. Thoroughly take care of the area that you live in, and as you do that, you become successful, and you can see where there's problems in doing it the first time through. I'm not going to do that again. Those are the learning curves that you're going to have to go through, and so let that be just part of let's let that be part of the learning curve, and you get to have an experience, and you become better with your experience. Nobody came here already knowing what to do. Loved One Society was given to us by the Alliance so that we would have a structure of some sort that we can begin our projects. That's what this is about. And as long as, and I hate, people say, well, Loved One Society is not the only place I can do things. And I'm saying, well, that's probably true. But as a humanitarian, the Alliance has set up the Loved One Society program for them to do their humanitarian work. If you're not a member of the Loved One Society, you're going to have to get involved in Loved One Society's programs in order for you to qualify, good word, qualify, for your funds. So if you become a member of Loved One Society and go through all of the training and everything that's necessary, and with your intentions to use the RSS program even into the international commodity clearinghouses or intergalactic, when we go to into the intergalactic, the quantum financial system has been around for thousands of years, and other countries or other locations have been using it because it's a solution to a problem. So allow yourself to grow and develop when you get involved, and be wise in your start locally, start doing things, finish. You might set up a CAC in a community that has 400,000 people. Well, how many CACs are you going to put up to cover 400,000 people? You can do one or two, and then, I think I'll go to France and do it over there. Well, who's going to do the rest of what you just started? So be wise in your estimations of what you can do. Allow yourself the time to learn and grow and to make mistakes. And we're going to make mistakes. Let's see if we can make mistakes and fix them. And that's what we do, because we are the creators of the experiences of our life. We're going to create the solution to those problems. So that's part of what we're about. Did that answer the question?
And then some. Okay. So when the people we sign up for the RSS, when they sign people up with their member number, how does the program know what the original benefactor's ID number is to cover the funds of all subsequent signups?
It's a chain of people. One refers to another. That's a chain. It creates a whole long list of things, and that's associated with the managing director that started it.
Do the beneficiaries have to take into account any condition or requirement to choose new beneficiaries, or is it just enough that they have a beneficiary account?
That's all they need, and they refer people to it using their ID number to sign up. That's all it is.
Okay.
There's no qualifications for the beneficiaries at all. If you refer somebody, then they get a chance to get in.
And yes, the beneficiaries can refer their family members over 18. They can refer anybody that they come into contact with.
That is true.
And these beneficiaries will not know anything about the purpose of LWS. That will just be out of the conversation, and we will teach that, before it's time to go. Mm-hmm. Like LWS will not be a household name.
Yeah. In fact, it'll be the RSS platform. We'll see. Loved One Society doesn't need to be spread as a brand. Well, I'll use it like for some stuff I want to do. I'll name a ranch Loved One Billings Ranch or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But please don't use Loved One Society. That's not yours. That's mine.
Next question. If I am selected as a benefactor, how would I be able to receive my user ID number so that I can give it to new future members?
That's part of your contract with Loved One Society. That'll be all there. There's going to be an agreement that you sign with Loved One Society, so we know who's involved. And you have to set things up you have to set up a master account. You have to set up a holding account, which is a bond account, a bond account which secures all of your activities as a benefactor or managing director. You said benefactor, that's why it came. But as a managing director, you have to have things set up the proper way. And that's called an agreement. And so everybody who is a managing director will be signing that agreement in order for them to be a participant with us. And it has to all be set up. Now, the reality is that that agreement is going to be you having an agreement as a managing director is going to be referred to Loved One Society by your counselor at your appointment. And that counselor will determine, well, we got that person has enough money, they're of the humanitarian heart, and and then they refer to us, Loved One Society, and that's when we issue the agreement and set you up as a managing director.
Last question. If the LWS program is a gift from the Alliance to Ron Giles, why would he be charged $10 US to download the RSS feed? There's more to it. And would there be a license renewal fee every year? And if you don't pay for the license renewal, would the program be blocked, leaving thousands of beneficiaries demonetized? So I think they're confused, that they think the managing directors have to pay the $10, not the beneficiaries.
Yeah, that the beneficiary has to pay as they register. That's how they get in. They don't pay the $10, they're not a beneficiary. It's not the managing directors. They won't have any idea what's going on over in Italy because grandma in Pennsylvania referred to her sister over in Italy. We don't follow all of that. We won't. There's no way to do that, nor is there any reason for us to do it. The Alliance is the ones that are in charge. Take care of all that. Hopefully that helps.
Okay, well, let's wrap for today.
Sounds good. Thank you for the questions, and we'll do it again probably next week.
Okay, have a good day, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.